Wick, put that knife away, he meant to say. When Wick Whittleslick slashed at his throat, the word turned into a grunt. Jon twisted from the knife, just enough so it barely grazed his skin. He caught me. When he put his hand to the side of his neck, blood welled between his fingers. Why? For the watch, Wick slashed at him again. This time Jon caught his wrist and bent his arm back until he dropped the dagger. The gangling steward backed away, his hands upraised as if to say, "Not me. No, it was not me." Men were screaming. Jon reached for Longclaw, but his fingers had grown stiff and clumsy. Somehow he could not seem to get the sword free of the scabbard. Then Bowen Marsh stood in front of him, tears running down his cheeks. For the watch. He punched Jon in the belly. When he pulled his hand away, the dagger stayed where he had buried it. Jon fell to his knees. He found the dagger's hilt and wrenched it free. In the cold night air, the wound was smoking. "Ghost," he whispered. Pain washed over him. "Stick them with a pointy end." When the third dagger took him between the shoulder blades, he gave a grunt and fell face first into the snow. He never felt the fourth knife, only the cold. Now in this video, that was obviously a quote from Dance of Dragons. That was the last moments of King Jon Snow, or according to the TV show, King Aegon Targaryen. In this video, I'm going to quickly go through what I think will happen to Jon Snow in the Winds of Winter. If you enjoy this video, you enjoy my content, then please help me meet the like goal of this video, which is actually 420. Alright, now jumping into it. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last several years, Jon Snow dying by his brothers in the Night's Watch, and obviously it's different people on the TV show, but Jon Snow dying nonetheless was one of the most watched clips from the greatest series of all time, or as we call it, the Game of Thrones. It literally was the only, well, obviously there's been much more traumatic moments in the TV show, but up until that time, it was the only moments where I had actually been angry at anyone involved with, like, killing my favorite character. When I first saw that, I had never read the books. I had barely been on YouTube even watching, obviously I didn't start making videos yet, but I had barely even been on YouTube knowing of the concept of people breaking down episodes of a TV show or even movies. I didn't even know of that concept. I didn't realize people were doing that on YouTube. It was gut-wrenching. I actually was mad for a couple days. Like, it affected my mood. Like, it was nuts. Jon Snow's death was crazy. And in Winds of Winter, most people accept the fact that Jon's going to be brought back. The fact that his last words were Ghost, it obviously means that he saw Ghost and perhaps warged into him. In the books, unlike in the TV show, Jon Snow and most of the Starks are wargs. Sansa would be one, but she lost her connection with Lady too early on. Now, traditionally, when a main POV dies in one of George's books, they don't actually get more POVs. Jon Snow is actually a super special character because he's obviously one of George's favorites. That's why Jon Snow is one of everyone's favorites, books and TV show. You can tell that George writes Jon Snow from a point of, like, specificness where he's obviously pouring himself into that character. So the best bits of George are poured into Jon Snow, and obviously Jon Snow is just amazing all around. He's a lot more intelligent in the books than he is in the TV show. Not to say that he's stupid. Kit Harington does an amazing portrayal. Holy shit, side note, I'm making a video about Jon Snow and I never actually addressed this. Kit Harington became a father around the time I did, and I read his interview that he did with that magazine where he talks about his sobriety and how challenging it is to be a father. I don't know if it was a magazine interview or if it was like clips or something, but I read like the cliff notes of it. Holy fucking shit, dude! Like, that's it's insanely. It really is. Being a father is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. But yeah, shout out to Kit Harington, man. Fucking look forward to seeing you in future Game of Thrones spinoffs and also in Disney, Marvel. But you know, getting back to it. Everyone just sort of accepts the fact that Jon Snow will come back, and when he comes back, he is obviously going to be changed because he's going to let the boy die, so to speak, and let the man be born. But there's some things that need to be considered. when someone wargs into an animal, if they spend too much time there, they're lost. It's almost like that TV show Animorphs. They could like shapeshift into animals, but if they spent too much time in the form of the animal, they permanently became them. There was like the red-tailed hawk, I think his name was Tobias or some shit. He had actually been trapped in the form too long. So there's things that happen to wargs in George's books, and if Jon spends too much time in Ghost, i.e. if he's not resurrected, if Melisandre doesn't do what she did on the TV series, then Jon Snow will be trapped in the body of a wolf, and aside from communicating with Bran and Arya, if she ever makes her way back to Westeros, there's not much he could be doing, or he would do rather, to attribute to the story. Now, long story short, I said this video wasn't going to be that long, so one of the ways I look for sort of cheating, because George hasn't put out wins yet, is what did Jon do on the TV show? One of the first things he did in Game of Thrones Season 6 after he was brought back by Melisandre was kill the people responsible. Remember when he hung Ollie, the little boy? Now, obviously, that's not going to go down like that in the books because those characters aren't necessarily responsible for it, but I'm pretty sure Bowen Marsh is going to be a similar effect. If you haven't actually read the Game of Thrones book series or Song of Ice and Fire, in particular that chapter in Dance, Bowen Marsh, the fact that his character is crying when he stabs Jon Snow is very similar to on the TV series with Ollie. I think Dan and Dave thought it would be more impactful to have Ollie, who is Jon Snow's steward on the series, be the one to deal that sort of final blow. So basically, I do think that in wins, Jon will hang those that are responsible for murdering him. I do think he will be resurrected, although I don't think it's going to be the same way that he's brought back on the television series. That part's obviously going to be different. I do think that Jon Snow sort of has to be brought back. Now, obviously, I do entertain the other side and play sort of devil's advocate all the time in my videos and sort of do what if, like, Jon Snow isn't brought back. I've actually made one of those videos in particular. I'll try to remember to link it down below in the comment section, but if not, just go to YouTube and type in Sir Hunts and then Jon Snow, and I'm sure it'll be one of the first videos that pops up. But I think that Jon is one of the three heads of the Targaryen dragon. They're going to make a massive comeback, and the Targaryens are probably going to end up, at least one of them, sitting the Iron Throne in the end. Jon Snow, Aegon, and Daenerys are the three heads of the dragon in the book. So Jon does have a further role to play, and him working into Ghost and his spirit sort of being trapped in there would nullify any effects he would have on the story aside from communicating with Bran or maybe Arya and helping to defend the wars that are coming to the north with maybe Nymeria and her super pack, which is actually a thing in the books. And then lastly, before I get the fuck out of here, one of the things that I think that not a lot of people liked on the TV show, and maybe that was because it was sort of rushed, is the relationship between Jon Snow and Daenerys has a lot more foreshadowing in the books. Things that happen to Jon Snow in his POV chapters are like pretty monumental moments in his storyline. Like when we switch to Daenerys and see what's going on with her at the same time, they sort of parallel each other. So these two characters are going through this crazy journey, and it makes much more sense when they meet that they would sort of fall in love. They've been through a lot in the TV show. They went through a lot in the TV show, but the idea of them getting together is obviously something that's proposed to Dan and Dave from George R. R. Martin because they just didn't have enough time to make that happen on the TV show. So let me know down below if you guys think that Jon Snow and Daenerys are destined for each other in these Song of Ice and Fire books. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name's Mark. The like goal for this video is going to be 420, man. Long nights.